Hello, and welcome to Rob's British Baking Show. So today on Rob's British Baking Show, we are going to be making banoffee pie. Now this is a recipe from Michael and David, who were bakers on the 2019 season of the Great British Bake Off. David actually won that season, Michael did not. But they're friends and they have a podcast and they have been releasing some recipes, and this is one of them. This is a fairly easy recipe to make in that it's nothing from scratch really at all, I don't think. What's a little bit challenging is the British things are kind of different from American things. So I'm going to try and do what I can. So a banoffee pie, the B-A-N in banoffee stands for bananas. Thankfully, in Britain and America, bananas are the same thing. Yay! The other part of banoffee is toffee. I don't really know what the difference is between toffee and caramel, but they use caramel in the recipe. They actually hold up a tin of carnation caramel. I'm going to be using dulce de leche, also in a tin, although I'm going to call it a can. So we're not making it from scratch. But the typical idea of a banoffee pie is it starts with a cookie layer crumb base. It's got a layer of caramel, dulce de leche in my case, toffee, who knows, and then sliced banana, and then on top of that, whipped cream of some sort. And then sometimes some like chocolate sprinkled on top, which is what they include in their recipe, although they leave a lot of things kind of up to us. So the cookies that they use in their crust are what they call digestives. I don't understand the concept of taking something sweet and tasty and calling it digestive. To me, that does not sound sweet and tasty. Most recipes for banoffee pie from the United States use graham crackers. And I'm actually going the easier route, and I'm going with graham cracker crumbs. So you're not going to have to listen to me banging a rolling pin on a counter to crush up cookies. All right, so we've got the graham cracker crumbs. That's going to be right here in this bowl. The other thing that they include in their base is what's called a crunchy candy bar. It has they call it a honeycomb. Michael and David say, oh, it's honeycomb. Just if you don't have crunchy, that's fine. Just go find honeycomb. Like, yeah, I don't know what honeycomb is either. I was able to find this. Obviously, I'm holding it. You know I have it. I was able to find it online. This is the crumbled part of it. We're going to put that in the graham crackers. It has like a light, crunchy stuff inside, which is the honeycomb. And then it has, this looks to me like a milk chocolate coating on the outside. This is made from Cadbury, and supposedly their chocolate is great. So we'll see what it tastes like. So I've crumbled it up into little chunks. I actually did that in the wrapper first, but I haven't tasted it yet. Here's a kind of piece that's left over. You can kind of see it. So it's a little sticky on the inside, but crunchy. You know, the way it crumbled up in the wrapper, I thought it was gonna, it like crumbled into these little tiny dusty things. I thought it was gonna be a lot more tender. The chocolate is really the main thing I'm tasting. It's tasty. So this is gonna get mixed into the graham cracker crumbs. I've got some melted butter over here also. This is the first time I'm making this, in case that isn't clear. I'm gonna mix the butter into the graham cracker crumbs first. I just splattered some all over me. That was fun. There we go. It's kind of getting mixed together. I don't want any dry stuff in there because we're going to be pressing this into the tart pan. It's called a banoffee pie. Their recipe, they used a tart pan. They didn't go up the sides of the tart pan in their video. But I think I'm going to try to do that. We'll see. All right, I'm going to mix in the Cadbury Crunchy. So like I said, when I broke up the Cadbury Crunchy, a lot of it kind of pulverized. And so some of the Cadbury Crunchy that's broken up is the same, if not finer texture than the graham cracker crumbs. Try and say that 3 times fast. And obviously some of it was bigger chunks, and hopefully you can kind of see that in there. I'm gonna empty this out. It looks like a lot to me, but I'm just gonna see what happens. Oh wow, that's a lot. That's really a lot. Okay, that's kind of crazy. I'm gonna not put it all in, spread it out and see what it does. Well, that's really a lot. All right. I know I've said that a couple times already. They said to use a certain amount by weight, how much digestives to use. I'm gonna keep going. I may regret this, but we'll keep doing it and see what happens. They said to use a certain weight. It was 250 grams of digestives. And so I used the same weight for the graham cracker crumbs, but I wonder if digestives are denser. All right, well, I'm just gonna kind of push it in. It's going over the edge a little bit. Now I'm kind of also wondering if there's enough butter in this. We are not baking this. It just goes in the refrigerator. You can probably see that I'm getting a lot of crumbs on the counter. This is not as straightforwardly easy as I thought it would be. And I've never made a graham cracker crust before, but my understanding is you're not supposed to press it down too hard because it gets too hard. It looks pretty good. Let's say we're done. All right, I'm gonna go get the caramel and I'll meet you back here in a minute. So we're back. I have the crust that's hopefully firming up a little bit. I put it in the refrigerator for a little bit. And now I've got the caramel. The caramel, truthfully, seems a little firm to me. I'm gonna try to just kind of put it down without spreading it from the bottom, but spreading it from the top so that it doesn't pull up the base. That's my plan. So we'll see how this goes. It's not really sticking to the base, so spreading it out. So I had microwaved it a little bit to soften it and make it easier to spread. I'm not sure how close to the edge I should come with this. Some of the crumbs are coming up. I think I may just settle for that because it's really pulling away from the crust and I don't want to mess up the crust. Let's say that's good enough. Putting it in there. Now the next thing that's supposed to go in there are banana slices, and then on top of that is the whipped cream. I'm gonna put this in the refrigerator and work on the cream, because the cream is complicated because of British differences, and I'll tell you about that in a minute. All right, so what I have in my mixing bowl is heavy whipping cream, or just heavy cream. In the United States, there's 2 kinds of whipping cream. There's light whipping cream and heavy whipping cream. If it just says whipping cream, then it's really light whipping cream. And the difference between those 2 things is the fat content. Light whipping cream has less fat, heavy whipping cream has more fat. In the United States, to be called heavy cream, it has to have at least 36% fat. The British people, I don't think they have heavy or light, I don't think they have any of that. They have what's called double cream. And double cream is what Michael and David used in their recipe. It turns out double cream is 48% fat. The heavy cream, 36%. That's a huge difference of fat. And we know fat means flavor. If I'm using heavy cream and they're using double cream, I shouldn't expect that the outcome is going to be the same. Although they said to use heavy cream if you don't have double cream, and in other recipes I've seen online, they do the same thing. No double cream, use heavy cream. Acting like it's the same thing, and it isn't. So I'm gonna whip up some whipped cream using this heavy cream, but I also bought some double cream. I found it at Whole Foods, a little tiny jar. It's a cute little jar. So I don't know how that's gonna work, but I've got the heavy cream just in case. I'm thinking I might mix the 2 together. I don't know, we'll see. So I'm gonna whip up the heavy cream first. I'm gonna mix it up a little bit, get it going, and then I'm gonna add in some powdered sugar. So I'm gonna turn it on now. It's gonna be noisy. Oh, well, guess what? It isn't noisy if you don't plug it in. I'll be right back. Okay, try again. I'm gonna let it go until it's kind of frothy, and then I'm gonna add in the powdered sugar. Normally when I make whipped cream, I use granulated sugar because I like the taste of it better. We want this to be fairly stable because I'm not going to be eating the whole thing in one sitting. So I'm going to use powdered sugar, which has a little bit of cornstarch in it, and the cornstarch will help stabilize the whipped cream a little better than granulated sugar would do. Just trying to get it frothy. I'll lift up a little bit more. Okay, I'm gonna add in the powdered sugar now. I didn't sift the powdered sugar. It's been a really long time since I've made whipped cream with powdered sugar. So I'm not gonna sift it. And hopefully it'll work out okay. Yeah, that looks pretty good. All right, gonna get it on high and then keep an eye on it. It's loud now, huh? I like to check it every now and then to make sure I'm not over whipping it. One firmer than that. Keep going. That's pretty good. All right, we will finish it up by hand. You want to make sure and get everything whisked in from the sides. That looks like a pretty firm peak. All right, I'm gonna taste it. Yeah, that's good. I think I'll go without the vanilla. This is gonna go on top of the banoffee pie after we put the sliced banana on. I haven't sliced the bananas yet, so we're gonna do that in a minute. But before that, what I would like to do is look to see what does this double cream look like. So there's a lot of liquid kind of around the side, but it's very solid in the middle. Like this is the consistency of like cream cheese. Okay, so now that I'm moving it around a little bit in the bowl, it's definitely not as thick as cream cheese. Like even whipped cream cheese would be thicker than this. Well, obviously it's not sweetened. Oh. That's interesting. It kind of tastes like cream cheese. Yeah, it has like that kind of tangy cream cheese kind of flavor to this. And now that I'm thinking about it, like what is actually in cream cheese? Is it really just cream that's been whipped until it's this consistency? I don't know. So I think I'm just gonna, or I'm not gonna use it for this, so I think I'm just gonna set this aside and not use it in the banoffee pie. Okay, let's slice some bananas. Again, most of this recipe is pretty straightforward. That's what they do on the baking show, right? They eat some along the way. To me, 2 bananas definitely seems like more than enough. And done. All right, I'm gonna get the pie out of the refrigerator, spread on bananas. Start in the middle and work outward. I'm gonna try and kind of put them close together to really fill it up so that it's as complete a layer of bananas as we can get. These bananas, I did not go with like super ripe bananas that you might use for like a banana bread, but I think having just tasted these, they might be a little bit underripe, but we will see how it all tastes when we're done. Now, some recipes for banoffee pie will put some banana slices at this point, but then also put some on top of the whipped cream. I kind of feel like I want the bananas to be coated in the whipped cream so that, again, if it kind of sits there for a while, I'm not going to be eating the whole thing at once, that it will have a chance to preserve the bananas a little bit and so that the bananas won't turn brown. If I look at things too long, I just want to fix it. I'm a bit of a perfectionist. All right, that looks pretty good to me. So let's scoop on the whipped cream. All right, to me that looks like plenty. Spread it out. So my goal is to get all of the bananas covered. That is my goal. I wonder if just putting a few banana slices on top to make it clear there's banana in it, maybe that's a good idea. All right, I could use a little bit more whipped cream, I think. Bring this down a little bit. All right, that looks pretty good to me. Just kind of bring it around. And I think I will put just a couple of banana slices on top. 1, 2, and 3. And then that lets everybody know there's bananas inside of it. All right, the last part is the chocolate. Oh, that's really pretty. Oh, I'm liking this. I've never done this before, and it's obviously very easy, but it's really looking nice. I'm happy. I think that's good. What do you think? Good? Looks good. So, that's this episode of Rob's British Baking Show. Not sure if there's going to be another episode, but we'll see. I hope you enjoyed it and have a great British day. Have a jolly good time. I don't know. I'll see you around.